Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Dance hall girls were the evening treat. Empty cartridges and blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Tonight, ToledoJess and I, and hopefully before too long, Rose, are having Ambient Girl Digs join with us, and Hollywood Joe, Copperhead, uh, co-hosts of Diggin' Life every Monday night. What time, Nancy? 8, I think. But we'll, 7, sorry. And we'll talk about that here in a minute, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with ToledoJess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I.
I've got to dance. I've got to dance.
Now they can hear you.
Oh, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Ed will sneak up and turn it on you while you're being you.
Listening to us.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with dancing, Nancy.
That's
At work,
right.
when my voice isn't all hoarse and scratchy, I'll drive the guys nuts by singing and stuff. So.
That's me.
Yeah, she sings
and
too.
I can't sing. I can't carry a
Neither
note.
can I. Ask Jesse.
But that's all I do is I sing. The whole time I'm detected, I'm singing, I'm dancing, and
witness to that. You can't carry a note.
I can't sing.
Oh, did
I'm the first one to tell everybody that. I apologize in advance.
I can't even pick one up, so let alone carry it.
Singing in the back of my car over the last weekend.
That was screaming.
You must be MC Streamy Dreamy Joe.
Yeah, I got so many names that it's not even funny, buddy. But that's Shelly's special name to me. Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if Don's in here too. So.
Oh, let's say hi to our chat room here.
I see your radio's a little late. He's a whopping 2 minutes and 20 seconds late.
See who we got here
Ronald.
tonight. Let's see, Jonathan Friend. What's up, buddy? Gold Pro Unlimited, GPU. How are you? And that flash in your pan dude's in the house, I see.
There's Sherry. Hi, Sherry, Tom, and Brad. Cheryl and Ohio Relic Hunter.
Whoop, whoop. What's up?
Terry. Lawrence.
That was Hendricks.
Oh, look, Ambient Girl Diggs is
Oh, look,
here.
isn't that
Our
crazy?
friend Deej. Good to see you.
Hi.
Via and Tom Kingery.
Tom. Hi, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
John Donaldson, hello. Tin Man Magnet Fishing, how are you doing, Willie? Hello, David.
Jericho and Hercules Prospecting LLC. What's up?
There's
While
some
while
awesome people
we're
here.
while we're just at this point of the show, I want to tell Deej, your show on the Ironclads was very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Deej. And Jeremy, good to have you back. Just want to say that.
Okay, and get back to our what's up, JP Lawns and more. And I see Mark Miller.
Teresa, how are you? I hope your world travels are going well.
Ohio Relic Hunter.
Bacchus, how you doing, David?
And
Moto mining.
Hello.
Moto, keep that flippin' snow there.
Dan Burrows, what's up?
North Jersey Detector, how you doing?
Hey, Jason.
Green Gardner.
Harry Curry. Good evening. Brad Walsh, morning. Okay.
there is a
I'd
huge
be
group
morning
here.
there. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
there
it's
is.
morning where he's at.
Shannon Botner.
Hi,
hello.
Shannon. Hi, Phil.
Scott, what's up, buddy?
Look at that. Blizzard warnings in the Dakotas right now. All the roads are closed.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
No good.
Come
Great.
on.
What's up, Scott? We got JH raid happening.
Robert
JH.
Dupotti, how you doing? See ya at Flash Bash, brother.
Cool. What else we got here? See everybody.
Wow, blizzards. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that ain't good. You
That's-
all leave it out west.
Please
Listen,
do. Don't bring it
on
this way.
Yeah, no.
On this show, we keep politics out, religion, and blizzards.
I
agree.
I agree too.
Snow is a 4-letter word.
Yes. You will be banned.
Click.
Oh, you know, I don't see. Oh,
Be careful, John
No.
Wolf. We don't want you Garrett. Anything bad happen before we see you at Flash Bash.
he's coming up.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Cool. Been a while.
I
since
need to
we-
go to Flash Bash one of
Yes,
these
you
days.
do.
Absolutely.
Me too. Actually.
It
Yes,
would be
you
so much
do.
fun.
It,
Should get our
It's not,
it
we're all
isn't.
on
It
the
isn't a
trail,
dig stock. It isn't Florida 8 or nothing with like 800 people there or anything. It's like 30 camps.
That's
So
awesome.
there's 60 to 75, 80 people.
That's a
And-
nice crowd to have right there.
And most of them are YouTubers.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
they're members of the
99%.
viewing community. They're definitely part of the hand, but
Mhm.
99% of them are YouTubers. And I'm not sure. I didn't see as many videos out last year that I did the year before.
Everybody took a break.
I took everything I owned, but didn't break out my camera once. It was like
And that's what it was.
it was
So
like
we
a
having too much fun.
vacation from filming and just enjoying the river, enjoying everybody's company. I Dan or Don and Deej got on my dredge and used my sluice box, and same with Shane and Nick. And like whatever you find, you keep. I don't care. Here, fill it up. Fill it up. Okay. I I'm like, here you go. I gotta go. Come back in 2 hours or so. Fill it up. How you doing? Good, good. Gotta go. They call me Squirrel Nancy. Can you guess why?
Gee, no, I can't.
I think he's the nut the squirrel is chasing.
That could be.
Because that, that squirrel's running around for a reason. I think it's Ed. I think he's the nut that's just the squirrel is chasing around everywhere.
That's why I gotta keep moving, because that damn squirrel's after me. After my nuts.
Awesome
but
times though. I've heard some wonderful stories.
Flash itself is just, a bunch of different treasure hunters, metal detectors, people that do treasure hunting in this community. We get together just to hang out. You want to learn how to pan? We'll teach you how to pan. Teach me how to metal detect. Teach me how to look for bottles. And just have fun hanging out with and learning from each other and enjoying company. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's about.
Absolutely.
It's not even organized. I mean, seriously, it's so far from being organized. I mean, the only organization is we get the spot together and it brings them all together, and then from there on, it's however it happens,
Fire pit there.
Oh yeah.
There we go. That's then you're organized. That's all you need is a fire pit.
Fire pit and people.
There you go. That's it.
Saturday night, like big potluck dinner. We all sit down together, all build a supper together, and just hang out, eat, talk. What do they used to say?
We all know this is the real treasure is just the friends, the people that surround you in this community.
Yes,
The people that you find in this hobby. That is the true treasure. Anything else is a bonus.
That's the gold. That's the real gold. Oh, I
really
just had a terrible cramp. How many tickets are left for Flash Bash? 11 or 12. Clark's Cove just picked up 2 or 1. So I'd have to look in my spreadsheet, but I don't want to open any more windows. It's 11 or 12.
And the way we do it is we
have a top secret location.
In that campsite, you bring your significant other, your partner,
your family.
Your family, if you got kids, you bring your kids. We're family, quasi-family oriented.
That's all right, though.
Yeah, I mean, hey, families are families, right? So, and it's a lot of fun. That's all I can say. We just have a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. We need to figure out maybe the next one, kind of get a little crew together. That way all kind of hang out and make that that would be a good meeting spot, actually.
Yeah, it would.
It's not everybody coming from different directions. So no one's, that's a good location.
We're open to the idea of having it elsewhere, but that's something that we can't organize from where we're at.
Yeah.
It has to be done by whoever would want us to come there and have it. They'd have to procure the place for us to be, set that up, and we would show up and have a good time.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
as it
Let
is,
somebody
right
else do the work.
now, we're having them in Ohio because that's where we're at. You know. So
Well, you've got a good location, so
we got gold too.
that's right.
Our creeks aren't always the best in most places that I've seen so far for magnet fishing. We got good trout fishing though, and bass fishing.
I like to fish.
Yeah, the
too.
Vixen says Ohio, in the 3 locations or 2 locations they've come for Flash Bash, he's amazed at how clean the area is. Hopefully someday we'll find her at the girls, a good polluted bridge they could clean up underneath. I don't know.
Probably closer to Cincinnati or Cleveland or even Toledo.
Well, that's nice though, that you're in a nice clean environment around there. I know it's not good for magnet fishers, but I mean, that's a nice little area.
I think we've just been lucky in finding the places where the farmers are taking care of their creeks, that's all.
More or less, yeah.
Because there are places.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
There's
We have him here.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yep, there are places. We just haven't gone to those places where it'd be more likely.
Yeah.
I don't want to say sketchy or bad part of town or anything like that, but
Those are the places I'm not going to bring my detector because I'll probably come back without a detector.
Yeah. Or hang out at a bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I guess some parts of Cincinnati area where we could find gold would be pretty sketchy, but
I need to look into some of the magnet fishing laws because that was just a good
Yeah.
thought about. I was thinking about. I mean, most of our covered bridges are considered historic covered bridges, but that would be kind of cool to metal detect off of one of those.
I don't know. Can you fish off of it? Are they having any
If
fishing
it's
laws?
covered bridge, probably not.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, not
More
all
than
of them are
likely-
covered. Not all of them are covered.
Right.
Some of them are like, you get the rails that go down the side. Yeah, that's
Well,
something I need to look into. I've never really thought about checking that out.
Well, magnet fishing is a fairly new thing, so I don't know that
Mhm.
you're going to find much on the book.
but
Not metal.
well, I believe it's Georgia, or is it South Carolina? Magnet fishing's actually illegal. They don't
Oh,
enforce
really?
it really though, but it's actually on the books.
All right.
I guess it depends on the cop.
Well, don't they also have a lot of laws about that pertaining to pulling treasures out of there too?
It's like protecting history or something. Now,
Right.
how the effing do you protect history by keeping it rotten in a waterway?
Yes. No, we're seeing that more and more around here.
I can't use that side of my brain for that kind of thinking. Sorry.
I think it's more of academia keeping it out of hobbyists' hands.
Well, yeah, something like that.
We don't.
That's
we
my
don't get
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, we don't get rich.
We don't get rich off of this hobby, and I think someone thinks we're gonna find that pot of gold.
Well,
It's not gonna happen.
It's like prospecting,
We think that ourselves, but we also know it's not likely.
Right.
But
People don't think like we do, though.
Like I said, I can't use that part of my brain.
you take 15 grand of equipment or $1,500 worth of equipment in a 15 grand truck, and you drive for 8 miles, and you find $20 worth of gold in a weekend, if that, or you find 4 wheat pennies in a nickel.
It's a good weekend.
Actually, he did say that, right? He's got a new truck, so yeah, you're right.
But that truck was 33, so cut it in half. Um, but it's the thrill of it. It's the hunt. It's the history and research in the wintertime. It's the people you meet when you're on the river or in the field.
It's the therapy. It really is. It's good for your soul. It's good for my mind, my soul. It just gets me out there in the woods and
I use it.
yeah.
I
I use it as
agree.
get out there and just get into painting.
Yeah.
I can sit on the shore and pan. I got a good place to sit.
Yeah, and there's times like in our finger of the hand where sometimes we're running equipment with the pump, and even the hum of the motor, it's kind of soothing and stuff. And but then sometimes we go back to the basics and we're only using a pan and a sluice, and then you hear the water trickling, you have some water therapy and the birds chirping. And,
That's music. It's all music.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Tin Man says, speaking of gear, you can take $3,000 in fishing magnets and find half a ton of rust.
Yeah, I had that pinned up as a comment. Then Willie goes, a different Willie goes, you can actually spend 3K on magnets? Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good.
So they're not here to see us, Ed. Talk to us, Ed. They're here to see our guests. We should get them up
Who's
front.
that?
Yeah, who the heck are your guests? I don't even know those people.
We're just here to hang out with you guys. That's
We-
all.
We'll hang out. We'll hang out.
Like
Yeah,
around a fire at Flash Bash.
Right.
So
Yeah, there you go. For tonight, we're gonna find out a little bit about
you
because
two.
this
Dun,
show's
dun,
about
dun.
this show's about you guys, not about us. I already know all our secrets. Well, some of our secrets.
Ooh, not all your secrets.
No, not all.
Wait a minute. Nobody said that there was secrets that were going to be told.
Oh yeah, I
Please
have a
let
whole
me go.
list
See y'all later.
We've already had requests for treasure porn, though. Our buddy Bill Marsh, Ohio
wait.
Relic Hunters, off the bat, he's like, quit with the small talk, get to the treasure porn.
No, you have to put up with a small talk. You want to see treasure porn.
Small talk. Joe, you
Yeah.
should have your background with all your treasure porn. You've got.
Yeah. Yeah, I should. But
These are all things I want to find that's behind me. Wait. I found that.
I know that someone that Joe and I are both affiliated with. Actually, if you're looking for any metal detecting stuff, hit up Joe. He's a sales rep for We Detect. And down in the description, there's also a link that will take you there. Andy O'Neill's a great guy, been on our show several times, and he'll hook you up with what you need, not something that someone just wants to make a buttload of money off and sell you that you don't need.
True.
It's not always what you need, it's also what you want.
Well, yeah.
I want another detector, but I don't need another detector. I just
And what
want another
detector
one.
do you want?
I'm leaning towards the JS2.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
It's ouch in my pocket. That's why I'm not gonna get it. That's why I don't need it. Well, I spent a lot of time at Digstock at the Deus tent. I kept going back there with Metal Pirate Girl and talking with them, and that JS just, the more I heard about it, the more I listened to it, watch the demonstration a little bit. Yeah, I kind of keep.
I'm on the
it's
same boat as Nancy is
Good.
after hunting in PA
Yeah.
this last weekend. It's
They
day
let
was
they let
pretty
you play
amazing.
with it at all? They let you
I-
play with it at all? Did you get
Pardon?
to play with it? Did you get to play
I
with it?
I didn't. I could have. They
Did you
had
play
this
with it?
little secrets are coming out.
Oh, sorry.
No, not this time.
That was funny.
So
Just the way you
no.
said it, it was funny.
I watched a little bit. I've seen a couple of people
Oh,
recently.
he blamed it on me.
with it.
Did you hear that? He blamed it on me.
Well, the way you said it, like, did you play with it?
That's
So-
And
all
when
you.
Joe speaks, Joe speaks.
Damn it.
Okay, so you didn't get a chance to test it out, but you
No.
could have.
I could have, yes.
Yeah.
It was
Bummer.
just one of those things that
Yeah.
I spoke with them for a little bit. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I love what I swing. I love my Knox. I have a Knox 600. And I'm just really still getting to learn that machine.
Well,
But
and
it's
is it that much better of a machine? I mean, anybody can push a product and make it sound wonderful, right?
I can tell you that I went hunting in PA this weekend at Come Out and Swing, and there was probably about 17 guys out in the field, and one of them had a Deus 2. And the guy with the Deus 2 on day one had 9 coppers. We had none. Day 2, I think he had 4 more coppers. We had none. And then we started saying, hey, before you dig it, let's let us swing over that thing. None of us can hear it.
Wow.
None of us can hear it. So that day I was sold on the Deus 2.
I
Not saying I don't like my Knox, but what I
Right.
saw with my own eyes was pretty damn impressive.
I ran into a guy once coming home from a job at an old farmhouse, and he was swinging a Diaz, however you say it. And I'm like, that's a nice light machine.
mhm.
And
Crazy light.
and I'm like, how much is it? And he told me, and I'm like,
Yep,
because I know what
exactly.
I know what I spent for my 800.
Yes.
The 3 nuggets I found with it 2 years ago almost paid for.
Yeah, no,
Almost.
that's just on my wish list. It's one of those things. I don't need another detector. I'm still learning my detector as is, but it is one of those things. You know, one thing about this hobby is I think you not only do you find treasure, but you also collect detectors.
Yeah, you do. I just actually bought a legend. I have that too.
My wife looks, when you said that, my wife goes, looking at the detectors sitting there in the corner.
Well,
Counting.
I have one of their pinpointers.
Mhm. I've
The
got 3
Nikeo,
pinpointers.
the Nikeo or whatever pinpointer.
Nocta macro. So you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richie's waiting for his days too.
Yeah, you ordered one.
Mhm.
They're still not coming in very fast.
No, they're
Hey,
not, but
Richie, me minor.
What's up, Reggie?
Bobby.
I'm doing Michael. What's
Oh,
up?
there.
What?
No, it's one of those
Yeah.
things that I think when you start any hobby, you get really addicted to the hobby, and you quickly you want to have this, you want to have that, you grab your supplies that you want to get, and then you find what you like, and then you just stick with that one thing. So I mean, right now, like I said, I'm happy with the Knox. I started with the Bounty Hunter. 3 weeks later, I wanted something better, so I got an AT Max. Then a year later, I got another detector that was actually free when I bought the AT Max. It came with it if you spent so much money. You got another Bounty Hunter. Then I have the Simplex that I got, and then the Knox was my final purchase. So I've got 5 detectors. I really only use one, but you have that itch to get another one.
The addiction.
Oh, let me see.
Well, like with Joe's going, I know I'm missing so much. You know, I got a good detector, but there's a better one out there that's gonna help me find
So
everything.
I was happy with my Knox for a very long time until I saw what happened this weekend, and it just blew my mind. Honestly,
I
blew
bet.
my mind.
There's a good question for you, Joe, in the chat. What's the best detector to start with under $300?
Ooh, that's always such a tough conversation because it all depends on what you want to do with it.
True.
Where are you located? Water, field? I mean, there's so many
Yeah, are
variables.
you hunting beach and water? Are you hunting ground field?
I mean, I can tell you the Simplex is a really good machine for that price, but do not go near salt water. So, I mean, it's not good for the water. You know, it's waterproof, but it chats like crazy.
Me Miner says used.
Yeah, I used one.
Yeah, but you know
I
what?
mean,
It's not even that's not even a bargain anymore. The price detectors all went up, Ed. You know that. My lab's almost $1,000 now. So used ones are just as much. There's really
Well, my mine lab with 2 coils and an extra lower shaft was about $1,000. So,
yeah. So I mean,
yeah, like Brad just said, he's found heaps of stuff with his using a bounty hunter tracker 4. I mean, that's what I started with.
mhm.
I mean, all metal detectors are going to help you find stuff. It just depends on the more advanced the machine is, you're getting into the deeper you can go. The different coils will help you detect in different areas. I mean, it really is how much you want to invest in this hobby.
and
You might
there,
get a metal detector and not like it. So don't go out and buy $1,000 detector to find out that
Right.
2 months later you used it
Well,
once and
it's
it's gonna sit in your closet and give it
Or
to your
you can
grandchild.
just sell it for $100 less than will be sold in 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
And that's the same thing with prospecting, gold prospecting too. You don't start off with a dredge and then learn how to pan.
No.
You start off with a pan. Not that people don't do that, but you start off with a pan and learn how to pan first. Learn how
Well,
to
a
find
lot
it.
of times they get a pan, they find a little gold, then they want a 5-inch stretch, and
Yeah.
they're
Right.
gonna make $1 million, and you're like, whoa.
I mean,
Slow
It's the
down.
addiction. It
a good
happens. I
example
mean,
of that is one of my first detectors. I bought a MineLab CTX 3030 for $5,000. I
yeah.
sold it in 2 months. It was gone. See you later.
And,
Bye.
and that and
I
that
couldn't
beast
stand
weighs
it.
like what, 8 pounds or something? That's a heavy
7.6
detector.
pounds. Yeah. I mean, people love the machine. I just didn't like it.
Right.
But here I think spending $5,000, you're gonna find all this good stuff. Yeah, no, it's not that simple.
Now it's best, like Jesse says, with no matter what you do, take the time to learn your tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
Your tools do what they're designed to do if you learn how to use them right. And that's why I always say practice, practice, practice. Learn how to use your tool, then decide whether you like it or not. You know,
True. But then be
I
like
mean-
me, just keep buying them and never learn one.
right? Exactly. I bought this one last year and I've used it like 5 times, and I just don't like it. I'm getting more expensive ones. It's got to be better.
Well, that's what I did. I just bought the Legend. I just got the Legend, used it twice, and now I'm buying the Deus too. So I mean,
But and to be fair on that, also there's always innovations too that make you want to go the next step.
Yeah.
It's not just innovations. It's like I can take the Knox out somewhere and hunt that field for our property, just a yard, 10 times, and take the Legend out. I took it out the other day in the same field I hit with the Knox 100 times. I found even more stuff with the Legend. So you kind of scratch your head, right? Say, how is that even possible? But it's just a different machine. All machines do things differently.
Yeah, right. I think it was it Kevin Hoagland that I saw do where he was using 2 different machines, and they would both find different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One would find stuff better than the other one would, a particular item. So again, you just gotta know what you're hunting for. Like the question is, which machine do I get? What are you hunting for? How much time are you going to spend doing this? Is this just something you want to do on the weekends? Are you looking for the treasure, you're looking for gold, you're looking for, coins. That's a hard question to answer for anybody.
It is a hard question. It is very
You
hard
know.
question.
And
But
how
all
do
of us have our different things though. There are people in the metal detecting community that are only coin shooters. They only
Right.
want to look for coins. I mean, I'm more about relics. It's
well see
awesome when I find a coin, but it's the relics that I'm really looking for.
that's and that was going to be one of my questions for you tonight too, because that's typically a question that I'll ask metal detectives.
Mhm.
What do you like to hunt for? Coins, relics, some people just they're looking for buttons,
Yep.
some people are looking strictly for Civil War, some people are looking strictly for whatever,
Bells.
what do you got there? What was
I
that?
said I like bells.
Teasing us with porn.
Bells.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bell.
Bells.
There's
Oh, that's a
your
nice
treasure
bell.
porn, Bill.
Treasure porn. My
Okay.
favorite are the Crota bells though. That's
Uh,
I could hunt these all day.
Hey,
I
Now,
don't
is that
find
like
them,
a
but I
sled
can hunt them.
bell? Is
you
that
gotta learn
they're
about
little-
treasure porn. You gotta learn
They're
about
little
treasure.
Crota bells.
Don't give it to them all at once. Just tease them a little bit.
I'm not. That was just a tease. See,
They'll be
ring my
all
bell.
figured out before the show's over.
I think I'd prefer depends where I'm at. I'm nowhere near the beach. If I was hunting the beach, I'd be looking for lost jewelry and stuff. Like Gigmaster and some of the others, Maddie and Matthew, if where I live, my dream is to find something War of 1812 related, you know.
Mhm.
If I lived in the South, like where Jeremy lives, Civil War related, or Emily, Civil War related,
Yes.
relics, history, pulling history out. What's great about our finger of the hand is we pull out stuff that no one's ever seen before. No one lost it. Creation and nature brought it
Yes.
to where it rests, and we labored to get it out. The high is just the same. If I find an arrowhead or a weedy penny or a nugget or even a few flakes, the high is the same.
I like finding jewelry. I like finding relics. I like finding coins too.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
no,
have a different style, and that's what's
Right,
really
right.
nice about the hobby.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, the other thing we use our metal detectors too for finding metal in the creeks to help us find low spots where gold could be.
Mhm.
Help us locate it that way. So that's always fun. Find the nails and the lead and everything, and then dig there for the gold.
It's
I
all
mean,
right. Clean it all out. Send me in.
yeah, get it all.
I am
And
the
then-
nail queen.
Around here, that's what we use our detectors a lot for. Like Jesse said, we look for the man-made trash, heavies, and then we clean up the creeks and the river, and we dig there looking for gold. 'Cause usually they'll drop out in the same area.
Yeah. Well, if you need help with that, I'm great at finding nails. So he laughs at me, but it's true.
In her defense, she sent me a video one time, and I could have swore it was silver. And up where she is, man, his square nails ring like pure silver coins. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. So I know why
He
she's
didn't
nail
believe
queen.
me.
And
I
here's
sat
we
there
find-
and made a couple of videos. Pardon?
You know what we find here a lot of in the
What?
creeks? Pieces of fence, barbed wire, pieces of fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yep, lots of it. Just little pieces, with just where it's all been rusted away. But yeah, and that's the kind when we find stuff like that too, that and lead, and especially the leads,
Mhm.
definitely dig there. It's worth digging. It's a better chance of finding a deposit of gold, even if it's a small deposit, you know, because that's what we have to look for.
No, it's fascinating because like I was saying before the show, I actually started gold panning before I even did any metal detecting.
Which I never do.
You know, and you need to try it.
No idea.
It's
How did you start?
fun.
How did you start gold painting?
Up at where I camp, we had a seasonal campground that we went to. We've been going there for 12 years. And down in the river, there's a lot of little flower gold. And there's a lot of garnets that you find. So it was one of those things that my husband and I, we would spend a lot of time down in the river, just like picking out the garnets, and he would poke around and say, "Oh, look at this is really gold here. Look at this." So we went.
Well,
we went further.
Wait a minute. He's picking up pieces of gold with his fingers, and he's going,
little specks, little specks. He's like, "Look it's not mica." He's like, "It's not mica, it's gold," you know. So we like went down. I mean, we camp in an area that probably 15 minutes away is where everybody comes to New Hampshire to dig for gold. So, I mean, you just drive down this one whole river stretch and it's just cars from all different states. And they're in there and they're scuba there. They got their dredges going and their sluices and everything's. It's so, I mean, there's a couple of stores around there. So my husband and I went in the store and we bought the gold pans and the sifters and we got the little plungy thing, whatever you want to call them.
Snuffer bottle.
And the little vials things. And we went back and oh my gosh, we didn't want to leave that river. We spent like almost every day down the river just doing this, picking out the little thing, filling the vials with, look at, I think that's gold, that's gold, that's gold.
Gold fever.
It's gold fever. It really was gold fever.
It's real, isn't
but
it?
it was a lot of, it's so real. It's one of those things that you just think there's going to be that massive nugget you're going to find.
We always dream of that.
I've got pepper. It's pepper flakes. It's little pepper flakes that I'm picking up. But you know what? I'm going to find that massive nugget here in New Hampshire. I don't need a dredge or a sluice.
There's been some good gold found in New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont.
The one nice thing about those little pepper flakes, you put them in a vial, they can add up.
That's right. They look pretty, don't they?
Oh yeah.
It's another addiction, people. You got to try it. It is. I understand the gold fever. You get gold fever. I mean, I keep my pans are in my car. My pans are still in my car. All my stuff.
It's
one of those. Car. Everything's. Yes, I am very prepared when I go places.
If the world ever ends, go hang out with Nancy.
But no, it's a good thing. It was a lot of fun to do. It was something that I think we all have in us, that desire to hunt and find treasure. It brings us back to, I think, being a little kid.
Well, you know what? We had a guy on here a couple years ago, I think it was. Jovan Hewitt Pulser. How do you pronounce the name, man?
Jovan, oh shoot.
Hewitt.
Pulitzer.
Pulitzer, right. And that's what we talked about that night, because he's a I don't know what he is.
He's an inventor. He's been accused of being a con artist. He's a historian, a treasure hunter.
Right. Anthropologist, archaeologist.
Yep. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, right. Actually, a lot of everything when you sit down and talk to him. But in that show, we were talking about how treasure hunting is kind of like it's part of our DNA.
I believe that.
Well, because Well, because it's, part of the hunting gathering aspect
Mhm.
of humans. But I mean, think about it. Driving down the road, you see a bag, you see a box, you see something laying there. Don't you want to pull over and see what's in it? Don't you want to go, what's in that box? What's in that bag? That's part
If
of
I'm in the
that.
town, yes. If I'm in the city, no.
No, yeah. Right. But even then, there's a little curiosity there for you.
Oh,
Eh,
yes.
Yeah, so what he was saying is that's part of our DNA to be treasure hunters. I mean, we all have done it since we were kids. I know we have. I know I have.
Mhm.
Uh,
Same here.
Unless you were sheltered and didn't get to read, Oak Island or Treasure Island or
I never watched those
Tarzan or any
shows.
of those
The
things.
Goonies.
The Goonies, absolutely.
The Goonies. That's true. We are Goonies at heart.
Yes, we
We
are.
are. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I mean, I'll tell you. Oh God, I don't think I've ever really. I don't know if I've mentioned this story to anybody. When I was
It's all right.
when I was a kid, okay, we used to, as kids do back in the day. Kids always played outside. We played outside from the moment we had our cereal and cartoons until the lights came on and we had to go. And we used to beg, please let us stay
Lights
out a
come
little
on,
bit more.
time to go home.
You
So
know,
you were a teenager.
but where I lived, across the street from where I lived, was this dirt road that had about 4 houses on, then it connected to the next street. And us kids used to play this game when the lights would start to come on, twilight time, and the dirt road would light up all sparkly with the mica. And we used to sit there and it'd be like gold. And we would run in the dirt road, and all of us would start collecting these little pieces. I mean, some of it was glass that we were picking up, but I mean,
Cut fingers.
yeah, it was one of those things that it was just a game that as kids played because it was treasure seeking that we
Right.
did,
Right.
and it was like who got the most, who would pick up the most. Because I mean, New Hampshire has a lot of New Hampshire, New England, all of New England has a lot of those little the mica stones. And so you have those when they reflect, they're beautiful. It looks like gold.
I have a
Yeah.
confession, Nancy. I did the same thing.
I-
You did it.
Same thing.
Oh, Nancy, this guy, a very good friend of ours, Chris, he spent a whole summer saying, man, I'm doing great. I'm finding all this gold, and had a whole vial full and
Oh,
found
no.
out it was mica.
Yeah.
Man.
But now he does really well. He's learned a lesson, Learned
It
a
is.
valuable
I mean,
lesson.
it does. It looks like it. It's one of those things that just catches your eye and it's beautiful to see.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, mica's pretty,
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's not gold.
Nope, it's not.
No, it's not gold.
You're not going to buy your next detective with mica.
Oh, it's not going to work.
No.
No.
And it's funny because it used to be a really valuable thing. Well, valuable, but it had a lot of uses. It still does. I think they still use it for a lot of things. Yeah.
Oh,
So tell us about
it's
your
great.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, what got you into doing YouTube channels, first of all? I mean, not everybody likes to get in front of the camera, and obviously you're all right with it.
You know, the
It
fun.
took a
I'll be.
while. It took a while.
It did take a while. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anybody and everybody that knows me, I'm always comfortable behind the camera, taking photos,
Right.
family reunions and things like that. I wouldn't get into the photos. I used to avoid cameras, avoid any type of things like that. It was metal detecting that actually changed all that for me. It was one of those things I have always wanted to metal detect. I guess it goes back for being a child. I was a big treasure hunter, seeker, whatever you want to call it. I did as a kid. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say, as a kid, I used to dumpster dive.
Oh,
I grew up. I
oh,
grew
oh,
up across. I grew up across the street from a factory. It was a leather factory. So when they shut the gates at night, all of us kids would crawl under the gate and we'd go and hit the dumpsters. And I mean, there we would pull out like leather thread. We would pull out all leather pieces because they made shoes. I was from a shoe city. So they made shoes and boots. And so I had all this leather in there. We would take all the leather out and all the supplies. And, as kids, we would make braids with the leather strings. We would
right.
make pocketbooks or try to make clothes or whatever. We're crazy kids.
Right.
We'd also do we had a store around the corner from us. It was a drugstore. Well, back in the day, not like today, like when people return things or they didn't sell something. Back in the day, everything went in the dumpster.
Still does.
Nothing really went back to companies, the big things. So I
No.
mean, this
Oh,
drugstore used to throw everything away, all the jewelry, all the sunglasses, all the makeup,
wow.
anything they didn't sell, any seasonal things would go in the dumpster. And my mother would scream at me because I would be bringing all this stuff home. As kids, we'd all go and, oh my gosh, they would watch them throw everything away and bump right into the dumpster.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Oh yes, it did. The leather smell was great. I was just reading one of the questions. I bet the leather-filled dumpster smelled fantastic. It
Oh,
did.
yeah. Well, yeah, because I know leather tanning does not smell too good. We have a tanning, we had a tanning factory about 3 miles away, and on the wrong day, the wind coming the wrong way. That's not a pleasant smell.
Good thing it wasn't in the 18 or 1700s or earlier when they used
Right.
urine to tan hides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Ugh.
nice when it got wet either. You didn't want to be in a
Oh, yeah.
dumpster.
Just,
I
yeah.
do remember that too. I have memories of smells now. But yeah, it was just one of those things. I mean, I grew up, my grandfather owned his own business. He had a sand and gravel business. So as a kid, going to his house, because he had it was an old apple farm thing that he bought, and he dug it up. So basically, every weekend we'd go down my grandfather's house and the landscape would change because he'd be digging over here, he'd be digging over here. It finally got to the point that the house was just kind of sitting in the middle of everything that he dug away. But as a kid, we used to do a lot of playing in the sand pit, the pits, we called it the pits. And we used to find stuff all the time and not knowing what it was. We were basically searching for marbles. Because of the sand and gravel business, there was a lot of marbles down there. So I mean, we used to go on marble hunts. But I
Yep.
mean, we found coins and things, and we used to call it play money and throw it into the water and try to skip it. I could kick myself now for the things that I was probably throwing into the water. But like I said, it's just one of those things. It's been with me since I've been a kid. I've always wanted to somehow seek treasure, seek things out. And I've used to always talk about getting a metal detector. My dad always talked about metal detecting. It was one of the things he used to always talk. Oh, I really like to try that hobby. If he saw somebody at the beach with a metal detector or somebody in the park, he used to say, I really like to try that. And I don't know why we never bought him one. I really kick myself today that we never bought him a metal detecting because I probably would have been detecting much earlier in my life.
Yeah,
Um,
he probably felt that was a hobby he can't afford to do right now. He's got a family to raise, and yeah, that's
yeah, I think it was one of those retirement things. Back
right.
then, metal detecting was, oh, when I retire, I'll metal detect someday, that type of thing.
Right
But
now, I'm busy
yeah,
working.
and it's like, so I used to always talk about, I'd like to metal detect. Someday I'll get a metal detector, and I would never buy myself one. Well, several years ago, my husband surprised me with a metal detector. He actually listened to what I've been saying all these years.
My wife rolled her eyes.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't it? And I was surprised because usually I can guess what I'm getting for Christmas and stuff, and I had no idea what this was. And it was just a bounty hunter tractor 4, and he said, you know, here's a metal detector, try it, see you like it. And I was out in my yard, out there digging like crazy, finding stuff, and I was like, this is cool. I want more. But I didn't really know a lot about metal detecting or anything about the hobby, and that's how I got into the YouTube side of it. I joined a metal detecting club, and unfortunately I did not get out what I thought the metal detecting club would give me. It was more that I think the social side of it was just for them to go to the meeting, say what they found by themselves. They weren't like going out together. It was a little bit different. It wasn't what I thought the club was going to be. I thought it was like I was going to walk in that club and make a whole bunch of friends and go out detecting with people. No, that didn't happen. They didn't want to do that. So that's how it led me to looking at YouTube. I bought, a few weeks after the bounty hunter, I bought an AT Max, and it was just, I jumped on and pretty much Googled metal detecting and started watching a couple of videos. And I was living in New Hampshire, so of course Stealth Diggers popped up first. And then I just started watching a bunch of other channels. And then I found chats. So I was a lurker. So if anybody's lurking here, come out of your lurker shell. Don't be afraid.
Oh, and we do have some lurkers. And we didn't say hi to our lurkers tonight either. Welcome, lurkers, by the way.
You know, I have
You
much respect. I do. I have much respect for lurking. I was a lurker. I never spoke in the chats, never said anything. I just sat there and absorbed. It's one of those things that you see everybody in the chat talking, so you think everybody is clicky and they're in these good friends. It's a great group to join, people, so feel free to say hello. No one's going to scare you away. The knowledge is there. Everyone is at a different level of metal detecting. The people are there to help you. They're really friendly. It's a really great community. So
we're as friendly as you are.
There you go. Good way to put it.
You know, if you want to be friendly, we'll be friendly. You don't want to be friendly, well then go somewhere else.
We encourage clubs to quite a big point, personally. Especially for newbies, for the greenhorn.
I mean, they weren't bad people in my club. They weren't bad people. It's just not what I thought I was going to get out of.
Well, you know, for someone new, we are kind of stand backish and wait and see, you know, especially the one like, oh, where do you go? No tell 'em creek. Well, where is it? Oh, it's that way, when it's really that way.
That's true. That is true. Everybody doesn't want to tell you where to go. But also, I'll be honest with you, and I'll play the sex card. I was a female. I walked in that room and it was all men and like 2 other women, and they were like the wives of the husbands. So it was a little bit different too, I think.
Well, you know, that's kind of funny, because when I noticed that when I started prospecting and started watching YouTube and following some of the female metal detectorists and the male metal detectorists and the gold prospectors, and I would notice that the females would get a lot of hate, you know. Some might deserve a little bit, but a lot of the females would get hate from other detectorists, and it was you know, it was a kind of, man, I don't know if I want to be in that group.
Well, that was the thing. I didn't even realize that there was a lot of female detectorists out there when I started, because most of the channels that I found was just groups of men metal detecting, and I was learning stuff. But basically, then I started typing female detectorist, and then that's when I found like Liz, Dig and Connect. I found JHH, Jersey History Hunters, Digging with Deed. And all of a sudden it was like, whoa, there's a whole other world of
Right.
women that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I think that's one of the reasons why I came out of lurking status. I tell a story that I actually came out lurking on Tony's 5280 Adventures channel. He was the very first chat that I actually said hello in and started speaking. And it was funny because I won his giveaway too that first time.
You
It
know,
was like,
I've noticed that newbies usually win. I don't know
see,
why that
lurkers
is.
come out, you'll win.
True.
But
Well,
I
no
mean,
lie.
I'll tell you, it was interesting. After that, um, everybody was so friendly and helpful and asking me questions about metal detecting and what type I styles I do. Well, what do I want to find out? And everyone was like pointing me, check out this channel, check out this. Oh, you need to do this to your machine. And it was just like, this is what I was looking for.
Right.
And that's where I like all of a sudden I became part of this community. I came out of my lurker status, and that encouraged me to create a channel. Now, as I was saying, I never in my life been in front of groups or crowds. I used to always break out in hives for public speaking. So Joe's laughing because you can't shut me up once you get me
Yeah,
going.
that's why I'm just sitting here. Yeah. I'm just sitting here. Oh, good.
So I mean, that's what happened. All of a sudden, it was like YouTube started to change. It awoken something inside of me, and I was like, I want to do this for myself because this is helping me. I mean, I also started metal detecting at a very difficult time in my life. My dad was in the hospital, and my dad passed away. So metal detecting became a huge therapy to me, going out
Yeah.
into the woods.
Yeah.
And it was just me, my time, and what I was enjoying. It just kind of took me away from everything
You're
else. And it
right.
really
You're
helped me
able
with
to,
the grieving.
right. You're able to remove all that stuff that's
Yes.
you're dealing with on a daily basis. At least get it out of your mind for a few hours anyway, you
Mhm.
know, just that little bit of
Yeah.
relief. Then you go back to it again. You know, oh yeah, I use therapy.
Mhm.
Like I said, sitting at the creek, digging and doing that.
Mhm.
Being out there is therapy. You know, he's
It is. So yeah, so I created my YouTube channel kind of to document what I was doing so I could see where I've kind of like A to Z, where I come from here and there. I
right.
also wanted to hopefully maybe encourage somebody else that's lurking and that kind of felt like me, that person that didn't fit in and didn't know how to join, come forward, and also being a female. I mean, I don't make videos. I suck at making videos, okay, people? I struggle making videos, all right? All my great finds, no one has ever seen me dug because I've got hours and hours and hours of footage. I can't put them into a video. I struggle. Live stream, I can do that. I can
There's
talk with
no
people.
editing
I can
involved.
help.
You know,
But
I always
yes.
encourage new people, prospecting community to join a club, to join their local club. But now I
Mhm.
can't do that. See, as you're telling me some of these clubs aren't that good.
Well, it's
No, it's
funny
just
because
really
since
it's just
COVID,
a question, you
the
know,
whole
it's
club is
just a
disbanded.
question of finding a group that you can hang out
Mhm.
with and learn from. You know, I'm not saying, you know, go all in and be a club member, you know, for the rest of your life or anything like that, but at least get your first year, and
Yeah.
learn. You know, that's how
I
you're
mean,
gonna
I
learn.
did.
You got people
Did
there,
you
you got the
start
right people.
did you start that way, Joe? Did you start in a club or did you just start metal detecting?
I just started metal detecting with the great Mike. That's okay.
Yeah.
Found their own spots.
Yeah, I mean, please don't think I'm saying anything bad about clubs. It wasn't what I thought that I
Right.
needed. It
Right.
just wasn't
Well,
what it wasn't for me. And it might have just been I still being new to the hobby, being a female. I might have pulled myself completely out of it, just thinking that I didn't fit in here.
maybe not, but you know, just I, I'm that's got to hold true for any type of club. I mean, not, I'm sure there's a gold club out there that's just as bad as that metal detecting club where they don't do, you know. I mean, there's clubs that yeah, well, I know. Anyways, there's clubs that that are not fun to be in, but you know, but at least they got property that you can go on. At least they got that. For us, for me, anyways, joining the club taught me a lot right off the bat. You know, my first year, yeah, don't volunteer yourself either because you learn a lot. But yeah, you know, I still say if you're new to this, find a good. I'll add a little caveat to that. Find a good uh, club to join.
Club that works for you.
A club that works for you, right? A club that works for you. You
True.
know,
For what you're gonna get out of it. Like I said,
Right.
I got into the YouTube side of it and I made connections like unbelievable. I made
You probably
amazing
found some really good
friendships.
clubs. You
This is
probably
the
wo-
best. This is the best club that I've
Yeah, I
ever
was gonna
had.
say.
This is
Great
family
club.
to me. This is.
There you go.
I mean, I've got club members from all over the world now. So I
Yeah.
learn about different areas and what they find and share. But I've also met people that are right here in my own state, and they accepted me as part of their crew
Right.
and took me to these amazing permissions, taught me so much about metal detecting. They've taught me about nature and the woods and survival skills. I mean, I've learned a lot from this hobby and I still consider myself a newbie. I've only been doing it for a few years, but I am still a newbie and I love every bit of learning how long Joe might have only been detecting for so many years, or Gypsy, who's been detecting over 30 years, or Audra, who's been detecting since she's been a youngin' also. I mean, I love learning from everyone, and this community has been amazing to me. And they have helped me grow. That I've not only have I grown as a detectorist, but I've
Right.
actually grown as a person. And I like the person that I'm becoming because of this hobby. I've broken out of my shell a little bit
I was
more.
just gonna say, yeah, I was just gonna say, you feel a little bit better coming out of your shell, a little bit, you know.
Joe's
mean,
like, can we put her back?
yeah. Once you let the genie out of the bottle, you don't want to go back.
And no, I mean, this is my family and I've learned so much from everybody here and I really appreciate everyone that's in this community. And I want people that are lurkers or watching to know that join us, please.
Yeah,
Come be
absolutely.
part of this amazing group. We're all here to help each other. I mean, we're all in it for the same reasons. We all have that passion, that desire, that treasure seeking, whether it's metal detecting, magnet fishing, gold panning. We all have that addiction. I hate to say that word, but
That
I mean, you know,
fever, yeah, definitely.
the fever.
the fever. That's right. You can always learn something from everybody, even the idiots.
Right, all the time, every
True.
week I get to learn something new
Mhm.
about things that I'm interested in, Uh,
Yeah.
metal detecting, magnet fishing, even, prospecting for gold. And, like with us, we like to go different places because, and I'm sure it's the same with you, you hunt different. We
Mhm.
hunt different depending on where we go, you
Oh,
know?
definitely. I mean, as Michael just said, it's the passion. It is. It's the passion.
Right, it is.
And
Definitely.
all of us share the same passion. Like I will be the first to admit, and Joe, you're the same as me, I think. I don't like beach detecting.
I hate beach detecting. It's so boring.
And I have nothing, I have much respect for people
Mhm.
who beach detect, but it's just not my thing. I'm not going to find a lot of relics on the beach. I like the relics. So I am in the woods. I am in the fields. I am in places that a lot of people don't travel to anymore. I mean, I'm hunting out those old cellar holes because I want to find that relic. But nothing against beach detecting. I've done it. I like it, but I don't like it enough to want to really go beach detecting all the time. I do it once in a while, but
Something
I have
different.
nothing against. Yeah, it's just we all have different things, and there's people that think, "What do you mean go into the woods? I don't want to go into the woods. There's ticks, there's wild animals, there's this."
Yeah, who
Well,
cares?
not only that, I mean, when I look at the woods, I don't think of a city street or a community
Mhm.
or a place where a bunch of people have been, where they've got a bunch of stuff, where they've lost things. But in reality, I'm looking at what's there now, and I should be thinking about what
Exactly.
was there,
You don't realize that those trees that are in that area you're looking at are only 60 to 100 years old. There was a
Maybe.
whole, yeah, maybe. So I mean, there was a whole. I mean, that's the thing I do now. I go into the woods and I read. I try to read the woods. Um, or as
Well, I
Joe
was
would
just
say, I
gonna,
get
I was just
lost in the
gonna,
woods.
yeah, I was just gonna touch on what do you do for research in any particular area? Do you look at the? He's
We hire,
laughing.
we hire somebody.
Hey,
I don't
whatever.
hire anybody. Joe
Oh,
has a really good friend who is a researcher. So Joe's very fortunate enough.
Ah,
I mean, he just introduced me to his friend. His friend is really nice.
Wayne,
But yes, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne.
Wayne's a fabulous guy. He
he'll be
knows his
Professor
stuff.
Wayne will be on next week.
That's
He's a
right. I
very
was
good
going to
friend of
say
mine.
he's a
Yeah,
very good
I've
friend.
heard him speak very highly of you in some videos, Joe.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I love him to death.
He
Actually, I was
knows his
thinking
stuff.
of you and something he said in a video yesterday when I found those. I had my shaft on my Knox short, and I'm overlapping my swings. I'm going way wide, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I pick on Wayne
Joe
a lot.
has his out real far, so I put mine out super far, so I got more reach.
Well, no, Wayne does the pendulum. He only like hits the ground in the center because his shaft's so short. So I'm just like, buddy,
Stretch
a
it.
little longer there. Take the little blue pill. Do your thing, man. Get it out there. What are you doing?
Well, I took what he said from you because I know, if you do the pendulum thing, you're only hitting the ground what a foot that's in front of you. So I keep it low, slow, and I try to overlap and but I thought about the length of the shaft and so I have a longer swing.
Speaking of the length of the shaft, to say it that way. Terry just had a great question. She says, Nancy, have
yeah, I
you ever
saw that.
broken a detector? I have not, but I think somebody else has broken a detector.
I have
What
broken
happened,
it.
Joe?
I fell over a stone wall backwards.
Ooh.
I was actually walking over a wall because one of my buddies had just found a shoe buckle and the rock kicked out. And I went backwards and my back went over the wall and I snapped my carbon fiber shaft right in half. They thought it was my
Broke
back.
your
Thank
shaft.
God it wasn't my back. They were ready to call 911 like 5 miles out in the woods, but it was my detector, not me. Yeah.
Girl, they heard it snap, huh?
Yeah, they're like, oh my God. They were like freaking out.
Oh man. I would have
I
freaked
got
out.
up. I'm like, damn, that hurt, but I'm okay. I'm like, it was
Yeah, I would
dang.
have freaked out.
I'm like, yeah, I was a short.
Let's see,
Yeah,
the
I
longer the shaft, the
haven't
better
I
the
haven't
swing.
yet.
Well, the better.
I think if I broke a detector, I'll cry. Yeah, I think I'd cry. I mean, my detector.
I just got that shaft too that morning or that night before.
Yeah.
Broke it.
I mean, I did have my detector repaired because I had an issue with my metal detector. It kept shutting off, and then it would come on and just cycle. And actually, it was a defect inside of the motherboard, I guess you want to call it. There was a slight crack. And my lab was fabulous. I sent them that. 3 days later, they sent me out a brand new one. It was perfect. It was awesome. They were really great
So-
customer service. But so it wasn't technically me breaking it. It was a defect that I actually had on my detector and didn't realize I had. It just.
Yeah, I want to, Ruby, Madison Maine says the longer the better, right? Ambient girl comes back. That's what she said.
I know, Richie. I can say that. That's the other thing about our chat. We are a family here, so we kind of.
We feed off
I
each
think-
other.
Yeah, we do feed off
Oh.
each other and we kind of joke around.
We don't know
I'm
anything.
I'm
You
one of
don't
the
know
guys.
anything about that
No,
whatsoever.
not one bit.
Oops. Anyways, there we go.
Anyways,
Enough of talking
so
about
you
long
got
shafts.
into YouTubing because, of course, anybody that starts doing these kind of adventures, you know, they go to YouTube to look to help them, and then they decide, I should do that too. I might as well record what I'm doing. Everybody else is doing it.
You know what?
So
I think people should.
No, I agree because you know,
Mhm.
like I said, you learn something from just about every video you watch. Most of the time, anyways, not always, but for the most part, you learn something, and some are
Yes.
just fun to watch. You know, so yeah, definitely. No, I don't know. I don't know how many subscribers you have so far. How long you been doing it? First of all,
I have 1,400 subscribers.
Videos.
I've just hit 1,400. I think I might get 1,402 or something like that. And I mean, I appreciate all my subscribers. I never thought that I would ever even get to like 100, and all of a sudden 100 came, and then 500 came, and I was blown away by why does anybody want to follow? But you know, we're a nice group of people out here. We all do support each other. So yeah, it's one of those things that I'd like to be able to produce more videos. I just can't. I stink at it. I need.
Well,
That's
Right,
the
and
great
I-
thing about live streams, Nancy. There's no editing.
True. I mean, I'm
a lot
not.
of people- I think a lot of people understand too, because a lot of the people that are here are also YouTubers, and understand it takes time to do that. The more
It's a long
time you
time.
take videoing, the less time you have to actually do what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I'll be
videos-
honest with you. I probably have 2 years worth of footage on my hard drive that I could put a video out for almost every day for the next year. If I could just get them,
editing.
if I could just get into the editing part. I struggle with the editing. And
Uh,
I think it's because, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's probably because I don't think it's good enough. Or, I mean,
Or
my
worth-
first
or
few
worth
videos
it.
were just me finding junk, nails and stuff. And that was easy. But I think the demand is you think people don't want to see all the junk that you dig. I love that Dawn and Shelley from Can You Dig It do a whole episode about
Show me your
crap. Show us your crap. I
Well,
love
heck yeah.
that because you know something, when you metal detect, 95% of it is crap that you dig.
oh yeah.
And people, I mean, I got comments going, why are you showing that you found a nail? You know what? Because I just spent 10 hours out metal detecting, and that's all I found was nails.
Well, it's unrealistic with a bunch of channels when all they show are the prime stuff. You know, if
Yes.
it's Nuggets or Morgans or who knows what, a Libertad or a Real, you know.
Well,
It's
actually, it all
hard.
depends on where you hunt too. I mean,
Yeah.
you dig in PA and you don't find crap. Well, you have something in that field.
That's right. I nailed it, says Ohio Relic Hunter. I'm proud of my nails. I save them all. I also save all my bullets. I've got jars full of bullets. You know, my family laughs at me because, I mean, especially like my daughter got in the car tonight and she was like, your car needs to be cleaned. Your car's kind of a mess. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I've got like a whole back of my car of just nothing but crap that I've dug. But you know, and like my husband has said before, he had to fix my car and he's like, I need you to take all this stuff out of the car. So I moved it from one car into another car. And he's like, aren't you going to get rid of this? And I said, no, I'm not. I said, you see everything right there, every piece that's in those buckets, that's in those trays, that's in those little plastic containers. I dug every piece of that. I found every piece of that. I can't part with it yet.
I'm almost afraid to ask this next question now. You know, like the magnet fishers, you know, they find a lot of stuff, they collect it and they scrap it out. Do you keep everything you find, or you like at least clean up and you don't keep everything?
I throw out, I don't scrap anything as in take it to a scrapper. I don't think I have that much to scrap. I probably do though, but I don't. I throw away all my tin cans that I find. I don't keep my beer cans. I don't keep my soda cans. I don't keep my bottle caps and things like that. I keep every piece of metal that I find that I don't know what it is.
Ooh, you got stuff you don't know what it is?
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's one of those things
whatchamacallit?
Whatchamacallit videos?
You know,
Whatchamacallit?
Johnny from Not Right Johnny. He's one of the people that I detect with. I mean, there's times that I had opened up the back of my car and he starts looking though and he's going, oh, this is a buggy brake. That doesn't belong in that pile. This is this is that. I didn't know what this stuff was.
There's a show for you.
Keep it all.
There's a show for you.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit?
Whatchamacallit?
There's a segment, Joe. Should we do it?
Whatchamacallit? Show us your whatchamacallit.
Hey, Chris. Whatchamacallit? Show us your whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Like I went detecting this weekend with Not Right Johnny and Stan, and I mean, I don't know what this was. Okay. And I didn't know what this was. Do you have any idea what this is? This is really pretty. This is going to be really nice cleaned up.
Is that some
Do you know what that
type
is?
of curtain thing?
It's like that's what we thought it was at first, but it's actually for a picture holder. These
are
both
it goes on picture molding and holds pictures from picture
These
molding.
These have little nooks that you would hold a picture.
Cool.
I didn't know that. I like this one. This one's beautiful.
That
it has a really nice
cool.
design.
Nice patina on it too. Is it brass?
You know,
Copper?
it is, and
brass.
I think that one's brass. The other one there is very thin. It's more of a copper, and it's like that's a piece of spoon, and it's real thin.
That is.
I mean, I just dropped it and lost it. I mean, I thought this at first when I found it. I didn't realize it came out to be a spoon. At first, I thought it was like an ornament leaf, a leaf to something, you know, like a lamp or something, but it actually is part of a spoon. So, I mean, it's things like I'll just throw different stuff into my back of my car. And if anybody wants to have a look and see, help yourself. You might be able to help me identify some of these items.
Oh, you're too funny.
I'm just me.
And we love you just the way you are, Nancy.
But
Thank
I
you.
would enjoy watching a show where you're trying to guess what
Name that whatchamacallit.
name that whatchamacallit.
Right?
You know what? I think we should do that, Joe. That would
That sounds
be.
like a great idea.
I really do like that. I mean, I love Dawn and Shelley's
You have
about
people
your.
send some stuff in though, because I don't have any whatchamacallits. You do. You have plenty of whatchamacallits, so maybe.
But they gotta be stuff that you don't know what they are. You need to find out what they are. That's how you find out.
Yeah, just bring a
Right.
bucket in one night. Bring a bucket into the studio and just hold it up.
Next Monday's episode. What's in the bucket?
There you go.
No. Yeah, Monday. What time?
Be there
Monday.
Monday.
Tell us when and where can we find your show?
Yeah.
All right.
Come
So
on.
my channel is actually Ambient Girl Digs. That's where you'll find my YouTube channel. That's where you'll find the live streams. The live stream is actually called Digging Life. It's kind of a play on words, because I am digging my life. Joe and I, he's my fabulous co-host, even though he tries to quit all the time. He's my Vanna.
I do not. Get out of here. You're fired.
I was gonna
Joe's
say,
awesome.
trying to fire you every week.
Yeah, every week.
Yeah, it's a joke. It was one of those things that it started in the chat because, like I said, we're like families, so we kind of banter back and forth all the time in the chats, and it became a joke that Joe's fired. Joe's fired. So Joe's been rehired. He's not allowed to be fired. I can't fire him. He has to resign if he doesn't want to be on the show.
Talk about job security.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, basically it's a Monday night. I call it a hangout. So it's Digging Life, Metal Detecting Hangout. The show sometimes we've had guests. Sometimes it's been organized and we've actually had guests and asked questions. Other times we open up the chat to invite people on to talk or just hang out and listen to me ramble and Joe sit there going, I can't say a word because Nancy doesn't stop talking.
Kind of like now. Not exactly like now. I feel like I'm on her show.
Well, see,
So for the
but that's what I like. I like her to keep talking.
That's why I just sit here.
Right, just keep sitting there then.
as I told Ed, Joe's here to hold my hand because Nancy wasn't going to be able to speak at all tonight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess I'm a comfort blanket or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe and I actually became really good friends. We met through Joel Digging Deep Beeps, and I think you remember Joel, Ed. Joel had a live stream called Digging Deep Beeps. Joel and I were really good friends. We used to talk all the time. That's how Joe kind of came into the picture, and we got to know each other through there, and then through the Copperheads. And we used to pick on Joe. All of us in the chat used to pick on Joe and the Copperheads because poor Joe. And Trey, if you're watching or if you watch this later, nothing against you, Trey. You talk just as much as I talk. So Joe would sit there and Eric doesn't speak either. So Trey would talk and Joe would just sit there and we would send text messages. All of us in the chat would be texting
Joe, are you breathing? Are you still alive?
Joe, are you breathing? Joe, smile. Pick up your head, Joe. Would like send him all these messages and give him a hard time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I can see that. So, Brad Walsh said something here that kind of brought up a point too. You save everything, all your treasure, right? Your treasures, everything you find, you save for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people out here who will find and sell everything or trash everything, get rid of it. You know, everybody's into it for different reasons. I mean, even with what we do, we got guys that just go out on the weekend just to hang out and, you know, maybe find a little gold, but they're not they're not trying to make a living at it. They're not trying to even, make something, right?
Yeah.
But you've got other guys out there every day busting their butts trying to find I mean, their whole life is turned into getting that gold, selling it, getting more gold, selling it.
Right.
And I imagine that even happens with metal detectors. You got those people who do the same thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it, one bit. I mean, we all get into it for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly for treasure hunting, but
It's
so
true.
it's yeah.
I was just reading the chat. There's a comment for Joe.
Yeah.
From Terry.
Hoarder, yeah, hoarder too.
Joe, if a man
Yeah.
isn't getting abused by a woman, he's just not going to feel like a man.
I love it.
They'll
was
do it
great.
to you here too, Joe.
I love it. That's awesome.
I love it too. It was funny. No, I haven't sold anything, and I don't think I could part with anything.
No, me neither.
That's just me. I'd like to get organized better. I mean, I did just start buying like little cases to start putting things that mean something to me. But besides that, I've got things in boxes and containers.
It looks like her car.
Not as bad. I mean, there's things that
you can't drive her rude.
I want to make displays like the day I found my skeleton key. That was one of my very first finds.
More treasure porn.
Okay, so I love skeleton keys. That same day, the next day that I went out digging with my friends and coming back, I found in the woods. Now, I don't know if you can see that. This is really decorative. It's really fancy.
Is that a monkey on it? Or a squirrel?
It's not you, Ed. It's not a squirrel. It's different little designs. It's really hard to see because my camera's not going to focus. No, I don't think it's an image of an animal, but it's more like, I don't know. It's got like almost like a plant type, but then it has some fancy design going across the top too.
Or is
so
that
I kind of like, I want to be, now this doesn't fit. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. Which would be awesome if it did. But I mean, I think that would make a cool display.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To have that and that in a box.
Some shabby chic shit.
Yes. And then it would just be where would I start displaying everything? Right now, everything kind of sits in
boxes.
Boxes. It's like you buy divider boxes and you kind of just throw all different things in them. So I've got like different. Yeah, I kind of just have different things in different boxes. Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah, I've actually I have a cigar box full of the first trash I found in my front yard when I first got my first metal detector. Pieces of bent nails and pieces of bubblegum wrapper and pull tabs and more nails, roofing nails, parts of toys and more nails. But I still have a box out of the porch.
So, I mean, do you display anything in the cabinets behind you or anything that you find, or you just keep your vials of gold around you?
I really don't have, my collectibles have been mostly things I do auctions and flea markets. I love treasure hunting there. To me, that's treasure hunting also. Going to flea markets and auctions. I get some cool stuff, But no, most everything in there is just collectible stuff. I picked up glass and some Native American stuff back in the case. I have it hid because there's a doll back there that scares everybody.
I mean, I would love to be able to display. I don't know, Joe, do you display at home at all? Do you have a room for any of your stuff, or?
It's all in my office. I don't really display it. I get too many grandchildren running around.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Jersey History Hunters Audra's house. She
Oh
actually
yeah.
has a video. She has a video where she walks around her house, and it's a museum.
Yep.
I would love to have something like that. I will never find the amazing stuff that she finds, but it's a video that you have to definitely watch. It's like walking around a museum.
Yeah, never say never.
That's true. I could display my junk that well.
I mean, you do have a blank wall behind you.
I do. It's my green screen. I could build some shelves and put my little things up. Oh, don't get me started.
Right, you could. Shadow boxes and shelves, or a nice lawyer case like Matt Howell has, and with all his heirlooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Go to
Eventually, I don't have the good finds. Like Joe has found some pretty cool stuff, including his buckle that he has.
Yeah,
got it handy.
I can go get it if you'd like. I don't have it handy in here with me, no, but I can go get it.
Go get it.
Go get
I don't
it.
think anybody would miss you if you went and
That's
got
true.
it.
I'm just
Yeah,
sitting here waiting.
you've been talking so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become quiet now.
Oh, now your security blanket will be right back, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So in the chat room, if you haven't subscribed to Nancy's channel yet, go on over there. and
Or
subscribe.
Joe's. Actually, Joe started a new channel, I think. Hollywood Joe. His link's
Yeah,
down
he's-
in the description. I don't even think he has 200 subscribers yet. So hit up Joe. He's a great guy.
Hit up Joe.
He's been on our show before with the rest of the Copperheads. Great guy. I look forward to meeting him someday. And
Well, I'm
He
watching
is.
the
We all have some good laughs together. We really do. It's a great time. There, like I said, my best thing about this whole metal detection journey that I am on, adventure, if you want to call it, is these meeting the people. I have met so many amazing people. Next on my list is Madison, Maine. I mean, Richie's only a couple of hours away from me. I can't wait to get up and to detect with him and Dennis and Ezra and all the maniacs up there.
well, next time us Flash guys go to New England, because we've been there.
Yes.
And we've took a trip up there. Don't be surprised if we message you guys,
Good,
you
please
too,
do.
Richie, and say, hey, we're going to be in New England. Let's do something.
Hey, thank you,
I like-
Andy, man.
Please do. I mean, that's one of the things that I love. That's why I just went out to come out swinging in Pennsylvania. It was more, I mean, it was a great event that was held there. And it was for raising funds for Historical Society, and they did a wonderful children's event. But I mean, I really went to meet a lot of people. It was more, that was, I didn't expect to find anything. I was blown away that I did find something, but I went for the people.
Great.
Hello
So
there, Joe. What did we find?
I'm watching the chat room, and don't feel bad, Nancy, because most people here store their stuff the same way, in boxes here and in the corner there, or laying around here or there. I got rocks all over the place.
Yeah, I was sitting around going, I really need to clean this now that I've just said that.
Yeah,
You probably said that a couple dozen times. The last couple dozen times you said that.
Yes, I have.
I say the same thing.
Me too. Me
So-
too.
Show
Oh, you want the
Joe.
buckle? Actually, I got two buckles.
show us the buckle.
You have to hear the story to this.
Okay.
So
Oh, nice.
that's the first one. That's a U.S. Civil War belt plate.
Nice.
Dug in Connecticut. It was an odd thing. I had this young kid reach out to me, want to learn how to detect, and he told me he's been to this farm 100 times with 1 billion people and they never found anything. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I'll show you how to detect. We were just leaving and there was a huge pond with a big oak tree, and I kind of hit it fast. I didn't hit it really slow. And I said, no, before we go, I want to go back there. And I got right by the tree and I had a 12 signal. I don't usually dig 12 signals. I just don't. I dug it. I flipped open the plug. I don't want to tell you what I said. I closed the plug. And I'm like, if I tell this kid what I find, he's going to shoot me. He's going to shoot me. And I showed him, and he had a tantrum, wanted me to give it to him because that was on that farm. We got into a huge fight. I drove him home, and we kind of didn't talk for a very long time. But yeah, I found that out of nowhere. But he was nice enough. There was the farm. He actually researched and actually found the name of the soldier who owned it and where he was buried in New Fairfield, Connecticut. So it was kind of cool.
Cool.
So yeah, and then I got the other one too, the old snake.
Ooh.
And that too was found in my hometown, which what the hell is it doing there? I have no idea.
What is
It's
that?
someone's front yard. It's a U.S. British officer snake buckle.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's a huge bucket lister for a lot of people. Those two things
Wow,
he just
that's
showed you.
cool.
And I was kind of like Nancy. I dug it, I flipped it over, and I'm like, it can't be. And the first person I called was Matt. I'm like, dude, I need you to check something out for him. He's like, oh my God, yeah, it is, Joe. Yeah, it just blew me away. So that was in somebody's front yard in my town. 1700 house. I have no idea how it even got there, but yeah. Yeah, and then I brought this too. I forgot I even had this, but I don't know if you can see it. So this is the copper I found in upstate Connecticut that I actually threw into the garbage. And then I was bored one Sunday morning and took it out and took the old cleaning pencils to it and realized it was a Fujio. I threw it away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But something told me to pull out of the garbage the next morning while eating breakfast. I cleaned it, and lo and behold, the back is wiped out, but it's definitely a Fujio. Yeah.
You can see the Fujio design on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I just brought a silly spoon. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Look at the ornate on this thing.
I think spoons are fabulous to find because they're very personal items.
Is just as ornate all the way onto the bottom of the bowl, which is kind of cool.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't grab it all, but we could sit here all night with what I found, but we won't do that. We'll grab some of the good stuff.
Well, we have a bunch of treasure porn addicts in our community here on our channel. They yell at us, we want treasure porn, we want gold porn.
They wanted it right at the beginning of the show.
The crazy part
This
about
isn't a coin,
Go ahead.
but I started last year. I did more bottle digging.
I got more porn.
I did.
I forgot.
Do you open it?
I'm gonna.
But this is something that I found. My daughter and I found a bottle dump. So we spent most of last year at the bottle dump. My daughter pulled out over 200 buttons from this bottle dump, most of them early 1800 buttons. My biggest find, I mean, I pulled out a couple of like toy guns and I got a lot of buttons too, but this is my most personal prize find. It is World War II Air Force pilot wing, sterling silver.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
That there, and I mean, it cleaned up really nice too. But
awesome.
I absolutely, when I saw it, it was pretty corroded and like covered in like a rusty film, but it says sterling silver right on the inside of it, on the other side of it. The pin's missing, but this was, why was that in the dump? That belonged to somebody that was in World War II. That, I don't know, that means a lot to me. That was one of my biggest finds out of the dump that I found.
Is it my
That's
turn?
what's unfortunate is people don't know what history is.
This is true.
That's an Eagle watch wine key I found.
Right there, that's cool.
Oh,
Pennsylvania
cool.
this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a key for a watch band. For a watch, you say? Right?
Watch
Yeah.
wine, yeah. It says American Republic on it. I haven't even cleaned it. No, it's still in my spines box.
I love the eagle on it.
And this
So how
year,
do you
I don't know if you can make it out, but it's my first Drake Bust half cent. I don't know if you can see it. It's really dirty. I gotta clean it. But I found
I'm
that.
gonna ask you, what process do you use for cleaning?
Ooh, this was a touchy subject. I'm like Nancy.
I know it is. I know
destroy it.
there's people that
Don't clean them.
I kind of just stare at it for a little while and then I say, okay.
Don't.
you gotta be able to clean them somewhat. I mean, you would think.
And then I hit a barber. I mean, nothing crazy, but it's a barber dime. Everybody says that. It's a barber, nothing crazy compared to what I dig. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I like them.
I don't know,
Barber's
Joe, will you
nice.
agree? If
What?
you get a copper, don't clean it till it dries. Let it air dry. And then to me, I would use a toothpick to
Well-
kind of take off so you can kind of see. I destroyed mine I've tried the olive oil trick with my Indian head pennies, killed my Indian head pennies. With my large scents, and these are some of my really toasted ones. I keep them at my desk to remind myself, don't clean.
But something you can try, and PA Pirate Paul talked about it this weekend down in PA. He takes and puts his in Vaseline for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it lifts all that green stuff, gets it really soft. He takes a dry rag and just wipes it off, and his stuff comes out looking amazing.
Richie just nailed it on the head. If you know the year and what it is,
Yeah, don't
stop
clean
cleaning it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've wiped a few of them out myself. It's like a little more I can see. Next thing you know, there's nothing left.
I mean, last weekend when I went to come out swinging in Pennsylvania, I found a real. It's a 1773 half real. It's a tiny little silver, and you're probably not going to see the design on it. Let's see. My lights are too bright in here. No, you're not going to see it. I should have.
Got
Yeah.
a little glimpse, but
It has a hole in it. It's really kind of cool. This is really thin. I'm petrified to clean it.
That's
I mean,
really
in all-
worn. That one, the reals are pretty thick. I got a bunch of them, and that one's really worn bad. It seems,
But
We have a couple of questions that I don't think we've got to. Both of them are from our friend from Australia, Full o' Gold. What was the most interesting or quirky detecting story you have or experienced?
quirky, huh? I'm trying to think.
probably anytime you two get together.
Me and Nancy, I think we've only detected twice together, 3 times together.
yeah,
We won't talk about
I-
last weekend, so just forget about that. Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I think one of the things, yeah, I can't answer that really. I mean, I know one of the things I get a little eerie with, and we've had this conversation, is when you're digging and you find parts of shoes.
You always
Parts
find
of shoes.
stuff weird.
I always, in my area that I live, we find a lot of shoe parts here. All of a sudden I'll be digging and we'll get a little bit of a heel or the leather part of a shoe. And it always makes me stop for a minute, like, because you think, okay, is there a body? Am I going to find a bone next?
You were
I
going there.
mean, I have found bones in the woods. Most of them have been animal bones that I've been able to identify. But yeah, the only creepy thing I ever had, I had
Oh,
a
wait a minute,
person.
Did you say the leather place where you used to buy stuff?
It was a shoe factory.
Right.
No, but I mean, we find lots of shoe bits and pieces. It's kind of creepy. It's one of those things when you're digging, you get a signal, and then all of a sudden you start to see you flip, and then like part of a shoe comes out, and it's like, okay, you stop for a minute and think, is what's going to be next in the shovel.
I've only dug one shoe. You like dig them all the time.
Oh my God, I dig them all the time. I've got pictures that I've taken of just pits and pits of digging out pieces of shoes. And a lot of them are children's shoes.
That's even
Ooh.
weirder.
That sounds like the Treasure Vixens is always finding pleasure toys.
Yes, I haven't. I know somebody that found one, but I have not found one, and that's okay with me.
No, but they find them
Um,
all the time. No, they find them all the time.
Oh, I'm sure. And I don't know why
You
they're
know?
out there, and I don't want to know.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you finding shoes.
True. I mean, I've come across a homeless camp before, but nobody was there. It was a homeless camp that's been abandoned, and there was still a tent that was kind of bubbly. So I kind of was like poking it to see if there was a body under there.
You don't want to find one, but you're looking.
It wasn't. It was just clothes. There was no bones.
But that's got to be eerie, though. Even an abandoned one would be eerie just to find out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I do a lot of metal detecting by myself in the woods. So I try to be really
For yourself.
cautious, and I let people know where I am and things like that. But I mean, I did have an episode that a guy came out of the woods and was just standing there watching me one time. And that's when I first started YouTube and I first started metal detecting, and that made me stop. I actually stopped for a couple of months because I was a little
Really?
bit creeped out because
Yeah.
this guy just came out of nowhere and it was just standing there watching me. And I brought my phone and started like videotaping and saying to people, there was a person over in the woods, he's watching me, because I didn't know what was about to happen to me.
Right?
So at least I had something on video. I probably would have taken my phone, but have you anything creepy, Joe?
Not like that, no. No, honestly, nothing. Trying to think. Not even quirky. Am I boring?
Yeah, nothing. I can't think of.
Or
I don't
new.
know.
So he also had another question. He wants to know if you've ever had the cops called on you while detecting.
Actually, I had a gun pulled on me, but yeah. Asking
By cops?
No, I was asking for permission. Actually, the guy was mowing his grass, and I rolled up on his driveway, and he got off his tractor and pulled a 9mm on me and told me to get off his property.
Huh. Nice.
And
I guess that was a no.
serving in the United States Marine Corps. He's damn lucky I didn't have mine because it would have been a bloody mess. But it was nice and walked away.
We were actually talking about police last night on my live stream. We were kind of talking about police and metal detecting laws. Most of them don't know the metal detecting laws of the areas
Right.
that you might be in. So, I mean, we haven't had police called on me. I've had police stop to see if I was okay or see. I mean, where
What
I
you would
detect,
do.
everybody knows my car. So they're used to seeing my car just kind of parked abandoned in the woods everywhere. But yeah, no, I've never actually had the cops called on me. We've had a place that we've detected where their security patrol has given us a hard time, but it was actually public use, so we were allowed to detect there. Yeah, I think we know
You
the laws
mentioned-
better than the.
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier too, for one of the things that if you're starting out, check out the laws in
Yes.
your area.
Yeah.
Check out the regulations. Like here in Toledo, in the city proper, we can't metal detect at any park
Mhm.
at all. You can
We
on
were
private
talking about
property.
this last night on our stream. It was crazy the information that we got from different people. It was nuts.
Yeah,
It's changing rapidly, and not only, it's not just city laws. Each town is different, so don't think
Right.
that because you're allowed to detect in your town, you go to the
Mm.
next town and you can metal detect. I can't. The next town, it's illegal to metal detect.
right. Well, that's the same thing here in Toledo proper. It's
Mhm.
illegal to metal detect, but you can go into the next little town, Rossford. Brooklyn, and you can detect there in their parks. You just can't, leave a mess, but it's just, yeah, you even got to go into, even your small towns, you got to check their ordinances. Some care, some don't.
Well,
And,
there's a
and-
small little hamlet up north I did a job on, and I'm like, maybe I'll metal detect here at lunch. But there's a sign that says no digging holes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can metal detect, but don't dig holes.
Yes. That is
Take-
true, though.
Take a probe but I'm
There
not
it is.
skilled enough to work a coin out or something with the probe.
And
We
then
were
you get
talking
the
about
other
that, too.
things.
Some states you got to use a screwdriver. You can't use a shovel.
Right.
Could you imagine
And then-
trying to find a coin with a screwdriver? I'd be like, forget it.
That the
I don't wanna know.
in
I would
Ohio-
destroy every coin. There'd be screw marks all
It'd be
over
a new hole
it.
by the time I was done. You're better off letting me use a shovel.
Right.
Also here in Ohio, the state parks, you can't metal detect except for on the beach.
Right.
Yeah,
So the park
we
has to have
can't
a
do
beach.
our state parks either now. And unfortunately, more and more of our land is becoming preserved, being protected by archaeologist laws, claiming it as historical or preservation land now. So it's hard. It's getting difficult. We went to a spot on Sunday that we have detected several times before legally. It's a legal place. And there's a sign up there that says no metal detecting now.
Huh?
Yeah, so that
Unfortunately,
becomes an
sometimes-
issue.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes people don't take care of their responsibility. In other words,
And
they
that's
dig a hole, they don't care about going back in or doing it properly so the grass grows back up. And yeah, after a while, you get enough of that, people are gonna go, nah, no more. You know, you screwed it up for
Another thing
It
we
only
talked
takes
about
one or
last
two
night.
people.
It's true.
Mhm.
Only takes one or two. And the same with us. We have that problem too, you know, like here in Ohio, and most states, not all, but we don't dig in the banks, you know,
Yeah.
because that's causing the river to change when you do that.
Mhm.
Albeit a little bit, but still enough that we don't do that. Some places you can't. Some places they don't care. But you know,
And that's
so-
what's really sad. I mean, since COVID, COVID brought a lot of people out. A lot of
Yes.
people started metal detecting, treasure hunting, whether it's magnet fishing, metal detecting, or even gold panning.
Right.
COVID brought people outside. It was one of those things that all of a sudden the woods that I used to be by myself in metal detecting was flooded with people that were walking their dogs and
because they
wandering the
could get out
woods.
and be
And
by themselves. They
yes,
could get out and be
it,
by
wa-
themselves.
it wasn't the place to go. It got overcrowded in the woods. But a lot of people bought metal detectors around here. It also happened to be the year that we had a major drought here in New Hampshire, where our lakes were anywhere from 30, 50 to 100 feet now exposed shoreline. That we had a really bad drought here when that started. I mean, one of the woods that I hunt, I could actually walk around the lake, which was great. I found some great stuff, but I spent more time filling in people's holes instead of metal detecting, because everybody else ran to the lakes and there was people there pulling bottles out because there's bottles in the lake. So they were looking for the old Coke and Pepsi bottles.
Right.
You had people that brand new to metal detecting. It's not like the ocean. The waves aren't going to come and fill in those holes.
Right.
I mean, I still fill in holes when I go to the beach, but it was one of those things that no, I spent most of my time filling in other people's holes because I'm like, we're going to lose this permission. And I was talking to
exactly.
one of the gentlemen just a couple of months ago who was stating, now we've got probably close to 5,000 acres of woods around here that belongs to a business, a company that allow us to metal detect it. Without a permit, we can go on their premises. We just can't go in the areas that say no trespassing, because there are some areas that don't allow. It's all beautiful trails and everything else. I was speaking to one of the gentlemen and he says they're thinking about banning metal detecting because it's gotten so bad that the people who mountain bike, who run the trails, the woods, who hikers, they're complaining about holes, and the cellar holes that are in the woods are being trashed, where people just have leaving their holes and leaving their junk and stuff they're finding, and they're kind of getting fed up with it. So they're thinking about making it illegal. And I was like, please don't.
Yeah, their lack of respect, like
Mhm.
Harry Curry says, it takes just one person to ruin it for everybody. And
True.
that's why I kind of stress to anyone, if you're a YouTuber or you're just a viewer and you're into our lifestyle, be a good ambassador of our lifestyle. Pick up trash, take trash out with you. Not just your own, take someone else's with you. Fill your holes. Make a proper plug. Take the time to learn it. Don't be lazy.
Unfortunately, like you said, it only takes one to screw it up for everybody. And unfortunately, it's going to take all of us to show that we clean up and we fill in, we do other people, we take other people's trash out. Put that stuff in your videos too. I'm a real strong proponent. If we're showing what we do, let's show them how we also take care of the land. You know, put those little pieces in there where you cleaned up. It's not gonna, you know, yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to extra edit, but you know, but if you're doing a video where you're showing where you're metal detector, you're digging holes, show that you're filling the holes in, show that you're taking the trash out. It's only going to help our you know, our family, you know, what we do, because it's like Terry says, it only takes one to screw it up for everybody. And that's obviously what's happened here in Toledo, because they used to be able to.
Yep.
I was talking to a guy who said, yeah, we used to be able to, now you can't. Why? Well, because people were filling in their holes and people are getting tired of it. Because we got some parks here, I love the metal detector, 100-year-old parks and stuff, you know, that, you know, just, I remember growing up, tons and tons of people hanging out on 4th of July and in the summertime. And you can't even walk into these parks with a metal detector. They're right on you. So yeah,
like Full of Gold just had a question. Is like, how do you make a proper plug when it crumbles? Yeah, that is a good question. Well, one, if your ground is really that dry because of a drought, you really shouldn't be digging in homesteads. You should be sticking to fields and woods and avoid homesteads, because there's no way that you're going to be able to save that piece of grass on a homestead property. You just, if they're in a drought or something like that, or a really dry spell, move somewhere else for metal detecting. But yeah, it was really kind of great because Ohio Relic Hunter jumped right in and said, you know, chop up the large chunks to dust and scoop it back in. Try to make it, fill it back in the best you can with a little grass on top. It happens sometimes. You are going to get holes that are going to break apart on you.
I carry an old t-shirt. I carry an old t-shirt and I put all my dirt on that. And just pour it back into the hole. That way I don't leave dirt around the hole.
Right back then.
You know? And
but also when you put your plug back in, whether you're in the woods, on a field, or in someone's house, put your plug back in the best that you can. And it's not going to fit like a puzzle piece. We all have a good amount of weight on us. Just stomp on it. We all have big feet. Stomp on the edges. You put your plug back in. It doesn't even look like you were there. If you did it right, it does not look like you were there.
Right. I my first plugs, I learned to do plugs in my own front yard. You know,
my backyard.
Yep. If I got to do them right, or I'm going to have these brown spots. And, you know, I had a couple, but I got to the point where you can't tell where I've dug. Even right after I walk away, you have to really look hard. Because I use a shirt and I put all my dirt back in the hole. You know, because sometimes you got to scoop that extra dirt. Oh, I got to dig a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Sunday, because we couldn't dig into the woods that we wanted to, we had permission to dig the farms that were next door, which was great. To the left, it was a beautiful farm field. To the right was the cow pits. It was just cow patties. You know, I'll tell you, this is where I found my good stuff, was in the cow patties, people.
Don't be afraid to detect the cow patties.
Every single hole that I dug in that wonderful cow patty field, I put those holes back into place, and I was stepping in a lot of fun stuff. But you know what? You couldn't tell that I was digging there.
There you go.
And you found some good stuff.
There was some good stuff in there. It was, I smelled like a farm girl by the time I got home, but
Been on the cow patties?
cow patties give you a foil signal. Have you noticed? No, I actually was really lucky there. I found it was a nice little section that I got. Yeah, it was a pretty good day in that little section. That's where we actually found most of our stuff. After several hours of digging the field to the left, we weren't hitting too many things. We came into the cow thing, and one of the guys, you saw my little bell here. He
Right.
got a bell that was, no lie, it's like that big. It's massive. He found a massive bell that was in the ground. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
And that was being covered and preserved by all the cow patties.
Wow. Wow. Well, you made it, Nancy. I had patties on my mind. You made it, Nancy. It's 10 o'clock. I hope you
I
can get to
did.
sleep.
That was easy.
That was
And
easy,
thank
easy
you
peasy.
for not chatting all night and letting Joe have plenty of words in. You know.
I am not gonna let this down tomorrow. I'm gonna get all these messages
That's
from
why I
Joe
was kind of
going,
wondering
yeah.
why she wanted me on the show, because I kind of knew this was going to happen. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. No
You're
problem.
her security blanket.
So you watch
Like-
Monday night, she won't say a word and she'll let me just talk the whole show. Watch.
This Monday is gonna be, I have a very special guest that I'm gonna be interviewing. I am gonna
Let's
be
go ahead and talk about
interviewing
the show.
Hollywood Joe, and we're gonna discuss what's in our buckets.
Too funny.
Oh no,
See,
but
I told you, we're family here. That's what it is. I've got
that's
5
real.
brothers. He makes number 6.
You know about us then, huh?
Joe, I appreciate you joining us anyway.
Me too. It was good to see you.
Sure, just keep stabbing the back, Nancy. Just
Yeah, I love all your stories too, Joe. I mean, great
It's that
story.
friendly banter.
At least no one is making fun at me in the chat. That's bonus.
This is true.
Oh,
I shouldn't have said anything.
hey, if they're picking on you, they're leaving me alone.
It's true.
Yeah, you had a nice easy night tonight, didn't you?
I did. You talked all night, which was great. The chat didn't pick on me. They picked on Joe. Awesome. Great. Bonus.
Teresa just posted, I call her the trash lady.
Thank you, Terry.
He also said, great guest. Enjoyed the show.
What did Terry say? Great guest. Enjoy the show. Nancy, don't ever lose your bubble. Joe hanging around Nancy, question mark.
So we just say Joe who?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why
my
Ed asked me the
goodness.
other night. He's like, what do you want to be called? I said, does it really make a difference? Just make up a name. It works.
They're going to call you what they call you anyway. Yeah.
That's true. Well, I really appreciate everybody listening to me ramble
It's been
tonight.
fun.
I apologize if I.
Don't apologize.
Sorry, Joe.
I think we all enjoyed it, even
Right, maybe I'll
Joe.
just be a guest on Ed's show by myself and you won't hold my hand.
Don't need you to hold my hand.
Well, I don't know. Is that what Ed said? You need someone to hold?
So, guys, this is what you do. Come to our show on Monday nights at 7 p.m. and then you get to see this.
All right, cool.
I think I enjoy your show when I'm able to catch it.
Thank you. Like I said, it's just a place for us to hang out. Sometimes we go off the subject of metal detected and we just talk about whatever it is for that day. And then other times, like I said, we do have.
Yeah, we don't usually have a
guess.
plan. We'll sit before the stream and say, what are we doing tonight? That's how it rolls. And it just usually just goes. Like last Monday night, we had no.
I tell you, I've watched some shows that are structured and have, we're going to do this time. And now it's your turn to talk. And those get really boring.
Yeah,
know,
we usually shoot by the hip ourselves, and we go left field quite a bit sometimes, and gotta
Or in the
steer
gutter,
ourselves in.
what?
Heavy metal.
Did you read that? Did you read the
Going
chat,
Danny
Joe?
DeVito to Robert De Niro's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That was good. I like that.
What?
Oh, that's awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate you, Ed. I know Ed's asked me for the past 2 years to be on his show, and I do
Finally
apologize.
got you on, Nancy.
You finally got me on, and you're never gonna have me back.
Oh, that ain't true. I've enjoyed the evening.
What is her?
We'll,
I don't know what her problem is.
we'll make you a victim again. I mean, a guest again. If
The
you'll
dog's
come
beating
on
up
and join us. Yeah, I had my granddaughter come in behind the curtain earlier.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Libby's over here bumping into me, wanting me to pay attention to her.
Aw. Well, I appreciate everything, guys. This has been fun.
I'm glad you've
It was
enjoyed
fun.
yourself.
We got to learn a little bit about Nancy, a
Yeah.
whole ton about Joe.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing
He
about
wouldn't
Joe.
stop talking.
And Ed stayed in the seat tonight. My goodness. What's the
And
world
see, if you meet me in person, I'm completely shy, aren't I?
Oh, I think a lot of us could be like that till we get to know somebody, you know.
Okay, going down. Go.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was great having you two on. And yeah,
Well, thank you very much.
I wanted to talk about your new channel, Joe. You have a new channel with.
Well, it's not really new. It's been out there forever, but the Copperheads, they're around, but they don't do videos anymore. And honestly, I'm a TikTok guy. I don't do much on YouTube either.
Well, I do have your TikTok URL down in the description. Along with Ambient Girls, you could also find me over at TikTok. I don't do all prospecting and metal detecting. There's work-related stuff and other things on my TikTok. It's nice because the max you do is 3 minutes. You know.
I might be able to do that. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Emmy Lyman, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you.
I couldn't. 3 minutes? Couldn't do it. Not long enough.
That would be easy editing, though. Think of it that way.
It's actually very simple to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some good stuff out there, and like Amanda, until she was on my show, I've never seen really anything other but her hands.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
Her TikTok videos.
Well,
she has
TikTok
awesome
is
TikTok
crazy
videos.
it's a whole different world from YouTube. I've met so many people through TikTok metal detectors too that aren't even YouTube, and it's crazy.
Oh, and that one guest of yours, Pistol.
Oh, Pistol.
Yes.
Eva. Eve.
Yeah, Eva.
Yes, Eve. Yep.
She's cool. I like her TikToks. Yeah. I thought she was a great guest on your show too.
She was the first TikTok guest we ever had on.
Yes, she is.
Oh, maybe I'll steal the idea, and she could be our first TikToker.
There you go.
Because she has no YouTube channel, where Amanda does. So.
Amanda also has an amazing Instagram page too. Yeah. She's really into the Instagram TikTok side of that Amanda has. And that's where I first met Amanda, was on Instagram.
And then her show, her podcast with Gypsy Jules.
Treasure Vortex.
Yeah. After your show on Mondays.
Yes.
I hope to meet them in September in Indiana at the Midwest Silver Hunt.
They're great people.
You need to meet her. They're fabulous people. They're absolutely amazing.
I'm really making it a point to go, Nancy. Yeah.
That's how I got my name, by the way, Gypsy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
see?
Hollywood.
We got into a dig stock and she was in the tent and she saw me and she screams out, "Hey Hollywood." I'm like, oh God. And it stuck. It stuck. So that's where that
And
came
it's
from.
stuck.
Yeah, but
They're
obviously
fabulous
you
people.
liked it.
Yeah,
You're using it.
I would love to meet Gypsy. She seems like a really sweet gal. I love the pictures she painted for me.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She's all heart. She really is. Both of them. Amanda, they're down to earth people. They've got a big heart. They're real. That's what's really nice about hanging with them and meeting them. They're real people.
Well,
you know, that's a,
when you come to Flash Bash, you'll find out that ToledoJess, Dano, and I, Rose, and Angela are nothing like we are on YouTube.
That's okay.
yeah.
I'm shy too in person.
Yeah. Uh,
The best
well, at
thing
least
is to be yourself and to be as real as possible.
especially on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
You know what? This is your one shot at life. Enjoy it. Just
Yeah, well,
embrace the
YouTube will
moment
call you
and
out.
enjoy life.
Life's too
Yeah,
short,
YouTube will
huh?
call you.
Exactly.
Oh, you
Hello,
missed it,
Fort
Jeff. You missed all the treasure porn. You missed everything.
Yep.
Go back to
E3
work.
recovery.
Go back to work. No, we love you, Jeff. Welcome back, buddy. We're concluding the show for the night, but here shortly. But
We have been for the last 15 minutes.
now, everyone that's still here, I want to see Joe get 22 new subscribers tonight, right now. If you have not yet subscribed to Joe's channel, it's down in the description. Please do it. And next week, we're having Professor Wayne join us from Metal Detecting Game Changer. But you can use his game changer techniques and research for any finger of the treasure hunt man.
Mm-hmm. He's a good
And
guy.
I'm really
He's a
looking
sweet, sweet man.
forward to Wayne joining us. I really enjoyed him on your podcast that night. I'm
I say,
like,
if you Nancy talks a lot, wait till you meet Wayne.
and I'll warn you now. Next week's show is gonna be more of a seminar type thing.
Yep.
It's gonna be a little different than we are tonight. It's gonna be Professor Wayne doing his presentation on game
Great
changing
information.
research, a lot on research, LIDAR, and maps, and other great research tools. So I'm really excited about it, actually.
I'm getting subscribers. My phone's blowing up. It's pretty funny.
Yay! I don't think there's any test afterwards next week. So
Yeah. No test after next week's seminar. Just
We'll
come
fail.
but lots
join
of
us.
knowledge.
I'm
We
sure
fail.
you'll find the information very useful.
It's very useful.
11, 12 spots left for Flash Bash. Help us sell it out again this year. Anything else, Jesse?
Let's see. Let's see. Jared finally made it. Hope you get better, Jared. Jared's been sick, it looks like.
Hope you feel better, Jared. And Chris, we need to hit that permission, dude. 4 Wheaties. 4 Wheaties and a nickel. Too bad it ain't a silver, but it's as old as I am. And if there's old coins there, I bet you there's silver there. So
Yep.
Find it.
Oh, great. You're off work, but I'm not. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us, Nancy and
Thank you
Joe.
so much for having us.
Thanks, Ed.
My pleasure, Nancy
Yes.
and Joe. And all of you, thank you very much for joining us tonight. You are what makes the Flash fam for me so great. I don't know about Jesse, but I think he'd say the same thing. Until then, until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's gonna say next.
That's right, because it does happen, huh, Jesse?
Yes, it does.
Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river or the woods, maybe a field. Who knows, a bridge? Hard telling. But till next week, see y'all later. God bless.
Night,
Have a
guys.
wonderful day, week, night,
Great.
wherever you may be. Love you all.
Night, everyone.
YouTubers and
Night,
friends,
everybody.
thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us for another
TPU,
episode
Heavy
of
Metal
Tuesday
Intended.
Night Hangout
Oh,
Live
did you cut us
with
off already?
ToledoJess, Gano.
Okay.
I did
Treasure
the intro and not
Vixens,
the end
and
credits. Oh!
Grandma
They
killed
won't notice the difference.
living. Good night, Grandma.
Hey! Nice!
Hey, Joe, I
Nice,
just subscribed
Mark.
to you, Joe.
Good night, everybody.
4,
Just popped up.
3, 2,
Mark
1.
Thomas, man of a million names. I love relics. I like that one, Mark. Don't! I know, huh, Jeff? Don't! Colin, love you, brother. Chris, everybody. Jan, Jesse.
Yep.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.